Hey there, Living Springs. I want to first off begin this update by apologizing for not doing an update for the last couple of weeks. With all of the relaunch stuff that we've been working on and everything that's been happening with September, we just haven't had the opportunity to do them. And so please forgive me for that. But we are back this week for another update that I wanted to let you know about that relates to something that normally would happen tonight on the first Thursday of the month, and that is prayer meeting. Through the season of COVID, we have continually had prayer meeting in cars, in person, in lawn chairs, in the parking lot. But now at the beginning of October, we've reached the time in the year where it gets a little cold and the sun has started to set a little early to be able to have it outside and having it inside in the sanctuary when we have the weekend services coming up and we need to work through all of the sanitization processes. We haven't got those all done. So this month, what we're doing, and possibly the next few months, as we figure all of these things out, is we're asking everyone to take some time on this, the first Thursday of the month, to spend a few moments in prayer for our church and anything else that God lays on your heart. Normally, we get a small number of people, and we spend about an hour in prayer. And I'm hoping that by doing this video and doing it this way, although maybe we don't spend an hour in prayer, more people are praying, and our corporate prayer continues to be lifted up to God as a church. And so, if you could take some time today, at any point in the day, to pray, that'd be wonderful. And as you pray, I just want to encourage you to begin by just stopping and sitting for just a moment, stilling yourself in God's presence, so that you can get to the place where you can sense His leading and hear His voice. And then as you do that, I just want to say, just begin to pray however you think God is calling you to pray for our church, for our city, for our world. As you do begin that process, I will just throw a couple of thoughts your way, the things you can pray about if you want to. If your heart stirs with these, pray into these things. But some of the things you could be praying for with regards to Living Springs are, first off, the relaunches that are happening now, not only with the weekend gatherings that already launched a few weeks ago, but Youth, which launched last night, Roots, which launched next week, and other things which will be relaunching in the coming weeks. Beyond that, there's just the future of our church, the church leadership. We really covet your prayers as we seek God's heart and God's will for what He wants us to be and where He wants us to go through this season and beyond. Marriages and families in our church, which this season has brought tremendous stress to certain marriages and families. And just the people in our church who have been affected economically through this COVID season, whether that be by losing their job or having their hours cut back, praying for God's provision for all of those people and for our church as a whole. I want to just say thank you for praying. Thank you for being with us together, one in spirit, in this attitude of prayer. Although we can't come together right now to pray today, we can still come together in the presence of God to pray. And so thank you for praying for our church. Thank you for praying, and we'll see you next week with another update.